Are you ready to rumble? Check it out. In this corner, we've got the game of 401k that people use every day for retirement. But in this corner, we've got the game of real estate, which is also an alternative to the game of retirement. We're gonna compare these two toe to toe today and basically ask, what are you ultimately gonna be better off for your retirement with? Is it a 401k or is it investing in real estate? All right, so let's talk about this 401k for just a moment. Is it a good investment? There's a lot of things being called into question, like, hey, everyone said I was supposed to get a degree. Turns out that didn't make me very special. We've got people that are actually statistically, financially doing better that don't have degrees, and things are not exactly what they seem. I think 401ks is starting to get kind of lumped into this idea where we're starting to challenge the status quo of it. We're starting to wonder, is a 401k actually working? Check out some of the stats. Half of those that are earning $100,000 or more feel that they're contributing enough to their 401k to retire comfortably in the future. And that's according to CNBC's August Your Money survey. So if you look at it, it's like, wait a second. I've been trying to be that dudette that got to $100,000 a year. I made it, and now I'm contributing to my 401k, and 50% are feeling okay about their contribution, but half still aren't? Well, it gets wilder. For those earning between $100,000 and $150,000, the median retirement account balance is only $104,000 according to Vanguard 2023. And that number jumps to $201,000 for those that are earning over $150,000 a year. So let's just get real and ask, what percentage of Americans are making $150,000 a year? Answer, it's not very many, but even in that situation, their average 401k only has $200,000. I mean, do some basic math with me. I consume $150,000 a year, and all I have in retirement is 200 grand? I'm gonna decimate my 401k within just a couple of years. And that's kind of true whether you're contributing hard into a 401k but only make $40,000 a year, or you make $300,000 a year. Because bottom line is, people tend to spend plus or minus what they make. And so if you make more, you contribute more, but then you're going to consume more when it comes out. Does that make sense? So in prepping for retirement, check this out. Many people have their sights on retiring as millionaires, right? On average, Americans believe, according to a participant study with Charles Schwab, that they're gonna need $1.8 million by the time they retire. Now, what's ironic is that the average number in a 401k, do you know what it is for a 65-year-old? At 65, the average 401k and IRA balance is sitting at $256,000. And yet they believe they need 1.8 million, and I'm gonna tell you this truth, they don't need 1.8 million, they're gonna need more than that.
I don't think you have the facilities for that, big man.
CNBC calculated how much you need to set aside every month if you want to earn $150,000 a year. They say you're going to need to retire with $2 million at the age of 67. And for you to do that, you've got to save $1,600 a month. And I want to ask you, are you doing that? Are you setting $1,600 a month aside? And even if you are, that's basically 20 grand a year. The bigger question is that going to be enough? Well, we're going to turn our attention to the game of real estate because it functions very different. And here's the first irony that I want to bring up. When you invest in a 401k, its 30-year average return is right around 5%, right? I mean, it's really just a mix mash of different mutual funds. And so you're not getting rich, and let's just pretend that inflation doesn't exist at 3, 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8%. Like, you're earning 5% there. Let's talk about real estate appreciation. What is its average over the last 65 years? It's 4.65%. Aha, we have a winner. It must be the 401k, right? I mean, it's doing 5% over the 30-year average in the market, and real estate's only doing 4.65. 401k is actually not the winner because with real estate, you're using something called leverage. Like, if this is an investment property and I put $50,000 as a down payment on that property, then I might be getting a 5-to-1 leverage control. That means that the 4.65% I'm getting in real estate, if I put 20% down, is actually magnified in its ROI by a factor of 5. It's closer to 24% ROI. So already 24% is a lot bigger than 5%. And then if you add on top of it the positive cash flow, assuming you're buying real estate with positive cash flow, right? You collect rent, your property management company sends you what's left over after you pay the mortgage and everything. Well, that might be $2 or $3 or $4 or $5 or $600 per house. That's gonna add to your ROI. Then you have the tenants that you're outsourcing to pay off the house. Every year on a median-sized home, that equates to about 5%. Literally, them paying down the mortgage is giving you a 5% ROI. You got the tax benefits. When you start adding all that up, it's very common in real estate to earn 25, 30, or 35% on your money, not 5% in a 401k. Now, let's actually just assume for a moment that you are earning 5% on your 401k money. Actually, let's be generous and call it 6. But let's just say that you are earning a minimum of 25% in real estate. Over 20 years, what's the difference? Your real estate will outperform your 401k 27-1. There is a reason why they say 90% of all millionaires make their money in real estate. No one ever said any kind of statistic whatsoever about millionaires and a 401k, right? Think about it. Now, there are some cost differences between the two because on average, you're going to spend $19,392 per year on a 401k if you're trying to get to that $2 million number. And as a first-time home buyer, down payments can be as low as 3%. So here's kind of a funny comparison. Your 401k expenses are actually enough for you to put a 3% down payment on a $600,000 house every single year. And it begs the question, do I really want my money sitting in a substandard vehicle that won't be enough for retirement? Or do I put it in something like real estate where my money is actually working more towards me? There's another comparison here, which is the cash flow game. You see, when I put money in a 401k, what does it pay you every month? Well, it's a trick question, right? It doesn't pay you anything. But when you buy real estate, if you buy it the right way, what does it pay you every month? If you buy it the right way, it has leftover money each and every month. So it does give you the opportunity to build a portfolio. When I was in college, I actually had access to these stats, and I made a decision to build a real estate portfolio before I graduated college. And during my 4 years in college, I bought 25 homes. I was making $500 positive cash flow on average every month on each one of those 25 homes. So when I graduated college, my 25 homes were paying me over $12,000 a month. I still hadn't put anything into a 401k because I wasn't working for a company with a 401k plan. I was a college kid. Just by comparison to that alone, my 401k doesn't pay me anything, but my real estate does. Now, to be fair, there are those that are gonna say, yeah, but Kris, the free money. What about the match? The match is actually kind of a scam. I don't know if you know this, but in a recent study, they found out that on average, 91 cents of every dollar you earn in a 401k is what they would have actually paid you in the form of salary if the company didn't have to contribute to your 401k. So what they're actually doing is they're shrinking your salary, they're putting their match in a 401k, and you're not allowed to touch the money. What would you rather have? Your money, all of it today, so you could choose to 401k or something different like real estate, or do you actually like putting it in prison? Most people are putting it just there, they're putting it in prison. When you take a look at 401ks, it is the really big question of, do you want to put your money into real estate? Do I need to take it out of my 401k? Let me give you some really important education. Number one, if you have a rollover 401k, meaning a 401k from past employment that you rolled into a new 401k, every dollar of that you can actually pull out and do something called a self-directed 401k. It's basically where you move it out of the market through the self-directed account, and now you can invest it in real estate without paying penalties, without paying taxes. If you're contributing to a current 401k, you might be able to apply for a hardship and get your money out, but otherwise you might have to wait till you leave employment before you can access it, unless you go to your HR director and ask this magic question, can I do an in-service distribution? They might have to look up what that means, but it basically means, can I take money out of my 401k without doing a loan, like the 5-year payback thing? Well, I'll tell you right now, if you have a 401k, if you have an IRA, your money is in prison, and it's designed to build you a future for retirement. It's not doing that right now. I hope today's numbers helped you understand that. Real estate can. And if you're thinking, Kris, I don't know the first thing about real estate, I do. One of the things I've done over the last decade is I've helped 1,000 people take their money out of a 401k, an IRA, or equity in a home, or an annuity, or the stock market, or savings, and I've basically put it into real estate for them on their behalf without them needing to do it. Because I keep track of the top 5 markets out of the entire 324 markets of the United States, and I basically have my team set up to find the best deals in those markets where we're targeting not just 25% ROI, but something significantly more meaningful. If you'd like to learn about getting your 401k, IRA, or any of your money into real estate, and you want to know what it even might look like for me to do that for you, click the link below and let me educate you on what it looks like for us to partner up and go crush it in real estate together. Kris, thank you for today's video. It was very good. I'm a loyal subscriber, but what if I don't want real estate to make me rich over 20 years or 10 years? Like, is there something that I can do to become financially free quicker? And the answer is yes, absolutely. Click right here. Let me show you how.